Hey, what's going on? John Sonmez here. So I thought I would do a video talking about something that is a concept I think is really important to understand in life and dealing with people that a lot of people just don't seem to get, especially a lot of you guys that are, I get a lot of emails from you guys and questions in regards to, what do I say to a girl? What do I say so that she'll like me, John? Tell me, what will make this girl like me? And it doesn't matter what you fucking say. Honestly, it doesn't matter what you fucking say. Because here's the thing, here's a concept, okay? And this isn't just dealing with girls, it's dealing with people in general, is that the way you say a thing is more important than the content. The way something's delivered, right, is way more important than what is actually delivered as far as our language. You've probably heard the idea that most communication, 90% of communication is nonverbal, and you've probably blown that off and said, well, I can't control that stuff, it doesn't matter. But it does matter, and here's the thing, it's always like what's on your mind that's being communicated the most, right? What you're thinking and how you feel about a situation. This is why, having trouble speaking today, but this is why it's important to have the right mindset in life, right? This is why it's so critical to work on the mindset more than anything else. Because if you believe something, if you have the correct beliefs, if you have the right mindset, the positive mindset, if you believe that things are possible, if you have confidence, right? If you have self-confidence, self-esteem, those things are going to carry out, and they're going to carry over regardless of what you say, right? And also the intent that you have towards people. If you have an intent towards people, if you hate the world and you hate people, and they'll sense that no matter what you're saying. You could be smiling and trying to put on a nice face and saying nice words, but they're going to come off differently. And I'll give you an example here, as if I can try a little bit of acting here. I'm going to say fuck you, okay? And I'm going to say it in multiple ways, and you can detect, which one. It doesn't matter what the content is, right? So let's try the first one. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. See what I'm saying? So 3 ways of saying that, right? And I could do this different ways. I could say fuck you, right? Like the same word, okay? Right? Could be in some contexts, right? In some ways that I'm saying it, right? Depending on what I'm thinking about, what I'm projecting, it's an insult. In some ways, it's an invitation. In some ways, it could be, just an acknowledgement, or right. So it doesn't matter what you're saying, right? You could say it. You can shake someone's hand and you can say, "Hey, how's it going?" Or you could say, "Hey, how's it going?" Or you could say, "Hey, how's it going?" Right? Like, you don't fucking care, right? It depends on what you're thinking, right? In your mind, and how you feel about the person is going to be projected in what you say. So again, maybe I'm not the best actor in this case, but I'm sure that you can pick up the differences, and you can see the differences if you pay attention to them, right? When you're interacting with people, when you're talking to yourself, right? When I'm on this camera, right? When I'm on this video, there are times when you guys can pick up, when you're like, John doesn't feel like making a video today. He seems really worn down and rugged. He doesn't feel like I think he's just making a video to make a fucking video. He doesn't care what he's talking about today, right? And you guys can see that, right? And you can see times when I'm genuine. And maybe you can even see like transitions in this video, and you can say, oh, now John is fired up. Now John actually cares about what he's saying. Now he's on a roll here. And the content isn't mattering so much. It's the feeling, it's the vibe that you're getting here, right? And you want to test this again, read a script. Like, read a script and see if it has the same impact as someone who's actually saying those same words with meaning, with emphasis, because they believe them. So what's the lesson to take away from this here? Is, well, first of all, again, talking to you guys about talking to girls, and, because, I always get this question, like, what opener should I use and what should I say? It doesn't really matter, but what matters is, this is why I talk about, you can check out my playlist on becoming a better man and attracting women, is becoming a better version of yourself, becoming a better man, having the confidence, having the self-esteem that anything you say is going to come across, right? Being comfortable in your own skin, right? I did some videos on frame control. You can check out the videos on frame control. We'll put them in the description in the cards. By the way, click the cards if you can, just so I know that you're actually clicking the cards, and I know that it's actually effective, right? So I know that they're in the description, but let's use the cards if we can. It'll make things easier. Then I can track and say, okay, linking to these videos is good, and linking to those other videos is not good. But I lost my train of thought there. But what I was saying is that, essentially what you can gather from this is that, yeah, okay, I was talking about it's becoming, like, you can't hide, right? There's a Ralph Waldo Emerson quote. I'll probably butcher it, but he says that I can't say what you want, but I can't help see what you are. What you are speaks louder, or something like that. I can't remember the exact quote. If I was right at the computer, I would look it up for you, but you can look it up. And, what it's essentially saying is that, like, it doesn't matter what you say. What you are speaks so much louder than what you're saying. Like, so you have to change what you are, right, in order to actually communicate what you want to say, right? So if you are in this situation, right, and you're like, wow, I don't know what to say. It's not what to say, right? It doesn't matter what you say. It matters what you are. So you have to change what you are, right? And then it's going to flow. And even if it doesn't flow, it's going to come out okay, because it's going to be all about, how you're delivering that content. And again, it doesn't mean that, that the content doesn't matter at all, right? I mean, if I make a video and I'm telling you guys concepts and it doesn't make any sense at all, it's not gonna big fucking deal. It doesn't matter. I can just say gibberish, right? And you're like, oh, that's so insightful, right? But at the same time, I can't say something that's meaningful, that might have some wisdom to it. And if I don't fucking care about you, if you're looking at the video, right? If I'm looking into the lens of this camera and you don't feel that I actually care about you as a person, and I'm actually trying to communicate with you, and I actually want what's best for you in life, I'm just going through the motions of making video, it's not going to hit very hard. It's not going to make much of an impact on you. You're going to feel like I don't care, right? And so what I would say is, like, just in your interactions, two things. One, focus in your life, right, on becoming what you want to become, right? This is what probably the purpose of this channel, right? I talk about all the time, is improving yourself, becoming the best version of yourself possible, right? Reaching your full potential, okay? That's what this is all about. So focus mostly on that. That's important, right? You can't just be putting on the outfit. You got to actually become the thing. So focus, number one, on that. And number two, when you're actually talking to someone, when you're actually having a conversation, right? When you're actually saying words or communicating, don't worry so much about the words. Don't script things out. Instead, think about what the emotion that you're trying to make that person feel is. Feel that emotion yourself and convey that in what you're saying, right? If you want to be authentic, be genuine, right? Don't try and say words. Try and speak emotions. Try and speak feelings, right? And you have to sometimes change your emotion towards that person, right? If you want to be compassionate towards a person, if you want your words to connect, you have to actually feel like you actually care about that person that you're talking to. Otherwise, they're going to detect that discrepancy in what you're saying and what you're doing and who you're being, right? So you might have to, like, turn to someone and you might have to think of something good about them, right? If you're dealing with a coworker or something like that you don't particularly like, you might have to do that. Or you might have to call things out. Sometimes it's good to be honest, right? Sometimes it's like, I think I've talked about this in another video. It's just to say, oh, I'm feeling really embarrassed right now. I got to be honest with you. Like, we're not the best of friends. Like, I don't really, like, you do some stuff that rubs me the wrong way. I'm just saying that, to be honest with you. Like, I get annoyed by you, right? But, let me tell you something. Like, this is what I'm trying to communicate. Or, calling out the obvious. If people know it, right? They're like, you and I both know we don't really like each other that much. It's cool. But here's the thing. We still got to work together. We still got to figure this out, right? Or, whatever it is, like calling out the obvious. Now you're going to be authentic. Now you're going to be genuine. And now you can actually have communication, right? The place where you have the worst communication is when you're saying one thing, but everything, the way it's being delivered, is communicating a different message. That's when you have a problem. That's when people's red flags go up and they're like, there's something inconsistent. I don't like this guy. There's something inconsistent about this guy, right? Because you can be the most ignorant, like, asshole, and you could be the most, obnoxious person. But if you're consistent, self-consistent, not everyone will like you, but they're certainly going to like you more. They're certainly going to tolerate you more. You're going to have a higher chance of people doing that because you're genuine. Whereas if you're fake and you're an asshole, oh, that's the worst combination. People detect that, and you're just not going to, all your messages and everything you're trying to do is going to fall flat in that case. So, all right, I'm going to wrap up this video. If you haven't subscribed already, click that subscribe button below. Click the bell so you don't miss any videos. I'll talk to you next time. Take care.